Alright guys, yeah, I've been using the Simplex for about 12 months now, so I've learnt quite a lot about it, probably about 800 to 1,000 hours on that detector. So over the 50 videos or so that I've posted, the tips are all interlinked in there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take them all out and put together this informative video. Stuff like IDing tin cans and surface fines and stuff like IDing iron, digging holes, hints on where to look, and yeah, everything I've learned I'm going to put together now, so hopefully that'll help you out to become better on the Simplex. You might know most of them, some of them you might not, so yeah, just a helping video. Okay. Come on. This was a strong 60s. Normally, something like a penny. Well, it seems like it's bigger than a penny because I'm picking that up from quite a distance. Oh, you're nuts. It's a bit of a bloody iron. Thought it was a strong signal, that, but it was solid. It was solid. Right, I'm not going to take that out of the ground. Nah, let's leave that in. I'm racing against that, aren't I? Okay, yeah, that's where the iron was. So we know, we've just seen that, haven't we? Got a bit of a grunt, but it's a strong signal. But watch this. 04, 06, 04, 06. Pump the coil. Good indication of iron. Plus, if you get to the edge of it, just saw lightning there, get to the edge of it, you hear the grunt, right over it, you're getting a good signal. But if you come back, you're getting that grunt, pick it up at the edge of the coil, yeah, iron. Show you my setup, the Simplex. Got the Sp24 coil on. I've only just started using this on the last 4 or 5 hunts. Most of this land, the permissions have been over with the standard coil. I've probably got about 800 hours with that coil, so I can tell the difference with this. The smaller one, it seems more clear. I won't say it's as stable, but running this with 2.77, it's got to be said, the 2.77 is way, in my opinion, is way better than the newest update, the 7.8. I found when I used the 7.8, I used it for 2 weeks to give it a chance to, it's losing sensitivity, and I think that's what they've done. They've notched it down so you get a more stable ID on the detector. Now you're losing out on the 7.8, because with the 7.7 you can always notch down, but on the 7.8 you can't. You can notch down on the 7.7 and increase the sensitivity when you're over an item, just for that few seconds, just in case you're just not getting it. I mean, I can run this flat out. This is flat out now. It's got a bit of spark to it, but once you start swinging, the spark goes. And it's nice to hear that. It's nice to hear that because it's always there, and then when you get an item, when you get a signal, it really pops out at you. Yeah, I run in park 1 most of the time. Press of a button to the left there. I'm in field. If I'm just not hitting the target, I'll go over to field especially with this coil, Park one. Yeah, I just prefer the tones. I've done well with part field. I've done well. I was very impressed with it. I picked up a small dice, maybe Roman, at about 8-9 inches on field with the standard coil. Anyway, yeah, let's see what we can get. Right. I just want to show you something here. I've got it on field now. As you can see there, I've got the signal's really jumpy, but it's got a good sound to it. But that's iron. And I know it might sound crazy, but what it is, there's a deep piece of iron there, and it's just catching. It's catching the edge of it and kind of falsing on it. So, as you can see, if I move forward, 04, 04. See? That's giving 04 and the obviously the iron grunt. But if we come back, that's on the edge of it, so it's falsing the detector. So when you get a signal, make sure you cover about 1 metre squared from the signal, from the good signal, and you'll probably find that, yeah, you're not right over the target. It's just picking up the edge. All right, thought I'd share that with you. Okay, let's move on. We've got a choppy one here. A bit of an iron grunt as well. Let's give it a go. Let's give it. Oh yeah. A bit of rock there. Oh, and again. It was cleared up now. We've heard that. There might have been a bit of something in this part of the ground that was interfering, you know, giving it that choppy signal. It's cleared right up, so I've shifted whatever was doing that to the signal. It says, yeah, we're here. Hopefully it's something good, this, that. The size of that. They're but tiny. But you see how it cleared up the signal? I've moved something away from it, and it's just cleared it right up. And plus, sometimes I pop the clod off the item. If it's iffy the signal, pop the clod off the item and see if it clears up. You know, you might be moving somewhere. It's less ground to travel through, maybe, or something like that. There'll be something in there, in this bit that I moved, and then it's cleared up. It's only a little button, but it could have been a hammer, it could have been anything. It could have been a signal, you know. Yeah. It's your normal, is it a 4 button? Yeah, it's 50s or something. Okay. Call that. Yeah, I don't mind the woods, especially in bad weather. I mean, I can feel it already. The wind is. I'm in a kind of a valley. So, oh shit! Oh. What's happened here? I haven't brought my detector, have I? Right, let's that come off. Right, just give me a minute. I'll repair myself. Right. my legs got carried away with me. It didn't look that steep, and so it does now. I'm down here, but as I come down, it's all this. What's it called anyway? It trips you over, doesn't it? So that was my panic. My detector just pulled out of its socket there. So did my hip. But yeah, it's good to be down here. Oh fuck! Right, I'm going to sleep. Sp24 thrives in these such conditions. You've got the. I mean, there's not as many places as the standard coil for things to get trapped in. It's a lot smaller, so we can get into tight gaps. But, straight through that branch there, not getting trapped. This is the reason I got this, really, because I've got quite a bit of woodland finisher. And get trees, get right into the trees here. You see? That's where all the loop can get. I had something there. Loop could get stashed under the tree marker. Yeah, less cumbersome. Not nippier in these situations. You're going in and out of tree roots. Get right up against the sides of stuff. Get right up against the side there. So there's loads of settings. Well, there's not many settings, but they turn on and go the Simplex, aren't they? You can go straight in, no messing about. Recovery speed, you just change your modes. But the setting that I've just used today has been, I mean, that 3-pence there was about 7-8 inches, and it was loud, it was clear. And I'll show you the settings now. I'll show you how I've set it up. I've found some junk, just some junk rings there, tiny pieces. Let's just show you. Better put it in there. And this was there we go. About 10 mil across. That was at 9 inches, that, and it was diggable. It was diggable. It was a bit jumpy on the VDI, but nice and clear. Nice and clear. Right, these settings I can run flat out on this field. There's no interference from anything. I've just turned it down now because it is a bit chirpy. So I go into beach. Now beach, if you can see, it already notches out 5, 10, 15. So if there's that little bit of mineralisation or bits of iron, flakes of iron in the ground, it's going to notch them straight out. It's going to notch them straight out. So it should give you a cleaner ground balance, I'm thinking. I believe also that it's a mineralised setting, the beach mode, so it's got a broader spectrum of mineralisation. That's my take on it. My take mostly is that it's notching out some of the low readings there, 5, 10, 15. So you're going to get a cleaner ground to ground balance on, without all the iron and that little minute bit. So yeah, and then what I do, so ground balance in beach mode, 8.5, and then go over to field, and then he sets in field then. So yeah, so that's the setting I've been using. I hope it explains it a little bit. That's my take on it, and that, you know, you hear a lot of different things, and I think it's something to do with it's notching out the lower 0, is it 10, 5, 10, 15. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that setting. Let's see if we can bring anything else up. I just want to show you a quick Simplex tip here. So I've got a signal here. Now it's coming up on the display as being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches down. That's shallow. You can hear the double tap. If you raise the coil, it's not picking up. Right down to the ground, there's a double tap there. That means it's really shallow. Now because it's saying 8 inches, it's going to be somewhat small and shallow, which normally means rubbish. It's something you don't want to be digging. You see, it's a strong signal, 30s, 33s, but it's not as deep as you think. So let's just get the probe on it. I have actually dug, I dug about 4 inches down, and the signal wasn't in the hole. There you go. There you go. It says. It's actually on the surface. Now it was saying 8 inches down, wasn't it? But because of that double bleep, I knew that it wasn't. Obviously something small on the surface. Distance there. Yeah, I'd like to be closer to it, to tell you the truth, but oh well. Right, what's this? What's this bit of magic here? How you see it? called annuals. Stamp it down. No, we don't. Now for my next magic trick, I'm going to find a silver coin. Yeah. Good place to detect is near a wall, as people used to sit up against the walls, jump over the walls, and things fell out the pockets. I've got 95 here. This is like at the top of the limit that I'll dig. 96, 97. Not really interested in them on Simplex. See, someone jumps over the walls. Drops a big silver crown here. Yeah, a couple of pointers when you dig your holes, don't go too small. Make sure you pinpoint where the target is and get it quite big, not just because you can end up missing it, you know, it can end up being to the side a bit, you know. It's the horses or the grazers, when they're feeding horses, they go right to the root. That's why you see, if you see a lot of green grass in the field, you're thinking, how come they're not eating that? But they're going for the roots. And if your hole's too small, you'll end up, your plug, you'll end up pulling the plug out the ground with it, with the grass, with the roots. Yeah, and then you get in trouble then, don't you? I've had it before. I've had it before when I've cut my holes too small. Plus foxes and stuff like that. With a good sense of smell. Oh, come on. It's the gold stuff. Only on this permission I get loads of gold tin foil. What was I getting at there? Yeah, they'll dig. They'll dig because of the smells underneath that you've left behind. Your pheromones, whatever they're called. Yeah, get rid of all the loose dirt and that. If you want it really clean, you've got to put a bit of tarpaulin down. And don't fret too much in the summertime. Like this is quite damp this, and it knits quite well. You can't see it, but when you've got drier ground, it doesn't knit as well. The ground doesn't knit as well. And I got told the smaller hole, three-sided hole, the less chance of it growing back as much as a big hole for some reason. And in the summer you will get dry spots where you've dug. I was on a permission just over there, and he's got all these loads of dry spots and that, you know, because it hasn't knitted as well because of the lack of water as such. But give it time, another 6 months after, you couldn't even tell. It just looks a bit unsightly. It does look a bit unsightly when the ground is really, really dry. It's not going to grow back as good, and you will get like, you look like piss patches. To tell the truth, where the grass goes yellow, but it will grow back. Grass is like a weed, you know what I mean. You do a bit of gardening and that, and it just comes back, doesn't it? Unless you cover it up and kill it from the root. So yeah, don't worry too much. Just do your best you can. You know, that's not a bad one. You've got a bit of shadow in there, haven't you? From the dirt, but that'll wash away. Alright, about raising the coil on a find. This is coming up absolutely banging 74, 75. Now, if anything, that's too good of a signal, that. I reckon that's a tin can, because it's saying it's going from 4 inches to 8, which is not right, and then that's about 3 inches off the ground. That's about 6 inches, 7. Wow, I'd say that's about 9 inches. Yeah, it's getting up there, that, and it's still picking it up. So that's the can. Let's have a look. Always raise your coil. It's a big item, that. I think it's a big flat can. It's shallow as well. Oh, God. Could even be iron, you know, a big piece of iron. All that. Close enough. Yeah, always raise your coil, guys. Alright, ta-da. Right, I'm going to do a quick demo. how to cut a perfect hole, leaving no dirt, which is needed for certain permissions, lawns as such. So don't cut your hole too small. Three-sided. Open it up like an envelope. You get the depth, obviously, that you're going to detect. So yeah, you keep the side, you keep that side in, it just helps the growth of grass. Now if you do the hole too small and you take the whole lot off, you'll get yellow patches in your lawn. So say the target's deeper, so you get them out, put your knee on it in case it's windy. Search for your item and just put this on top. Get it on now so you don't need your knee on it. What it's just stopping that shadow effect of the grass. So you get your item out, gold coin, ring pull, whatever it will be. If it were me, it's ring pull. So you got your item. Put the soil back in. Just get rid of any little bits of residue. Find that back in your pocket. Put your plug back in. Tight fit. Now if the ground's boggy, you can get this back out, put that down and stamp on that, so you're not creating mud. Mud should be under the ground, I suppose. Make sure you get in the corners. Good stamping. There you go. Now you won't be able to tell that with air unless you know where it is. If I walk away from here now an hour and come back, I won't be able to find that, and that's how it should be done, really. Yeah, and there's no soil around it. That's the thing you've detected. Make sure you get your three corners, fold it back to keep that line in. Don't take the plug right out, because 9 times out of 10 it don't go in the way it comes out. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. So yeah, fits nice and snugly. All done. Okay. Got a happy one though. So there you go. Yeah, a few tips there. Hopefully they'll help you out. Yeah, please like, subscribe and comment if you get any of your own tips you'd like to add, or anything else that you would like to learn on the Simplex. Please comment. Okay, bye bye.